Thank you for tuning in. I see you're passionate about your future, so we're going to dive right into it. The last day I traded was December 16th. In my previous video, I mentioned to you guys that that was going to be my last full week trading, and the 16th was actually that Friday. So that was the last day I traded. So what I want to kind of talk about is now, obviously, we're waiting for the holidays, right? We're waiting for Q1, which is a couple weeks around the corner, a week and a half. But the point and where we're at now is I'm getting messages, right, from students, Discord, my DMs, people just asking and wondering like, yo, this is kind of like a 2-week vacay. You know what I mean? And now they're in this routine and they're used to waking up and staying up all night and grinding the charts and back testing for hours and just doing something pertaining to trading every single day. And now we're on this vacay and people are wondering, you know, seasoned traders, beginners, middle traders, everybody's wondering like, what am I supposed to do? Especially if this is your first, right? Your first shift into Q1. What are you supposed to do with all this extra time on your hands, all this free time? I always recommend catching up on life, right? Maybe getting outside, get some fresh air, getting grounded, getting balanced, getting in tune with the earth, God, you know what I mean? I always recommend catching up on your errands, because I know as traders, especially beginner traders, as you're trying to crunch and grind the charts and figure out your trading plan and your strategy, a lot of things get put on the back burner, right? That's just kind of the way it goes. We get this tunnel vision where we just want to figure this out. You know, the people that's passionate about it and love this game, like me, that's what the grind consists of. So things can get put on the back burner. So take care of those errands now, right? Whatever house needs, you got to get done, clean the garage, whatever it is, just go ahead and get that off your list, get it done, right? If you have a spouse, kind of put them on the back burner, maybe catch up on some dates, some family time, some reconnect. So this is what you can do in this little 2-week vacay. You know what I mean? Just catch up. And I also always recommend backtesting. Now, I don't mean backtesting like grinding the charts for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, right? All night, all day. And we're not backtesting for a shift. This is not that. We're going to enjoy the holiday in this little vacay, right? And catching up on stuff. But we're not going to be grinding the charts and backtesting like it's a shift. That's not what we're going to do. So when I mean backtest, maybe just look over one setup that you took, right? Maybe scroll the chart back and look during your session and see if you see a setup. Just make sure you're getting your steps right. Make sure you're staying sharp, keeping your wits about you, right? Because we want to be in the best position possible for Q1. We don't want to show up to Q1. I'm not saying don't do anything these 2 weeks. I'm not saying don't do anything pertaining to trading, because we don't want to show up Q1 and we're not ready to go. You feel what I'm saying? And now your whole year is offbeat and messed up because you done came into Q1 sloppy and not ready. So definitely we want to keep our wits about us and stay with our trading plan and our strategy in our head. Maybe just run over it through the day. Whatever you need to do, just make sure that you're keeping trading on your mind, but not as much as you would if you're just starting out. So this is December 16th. This was the last setup I took. Like I said, I always recommend the back test. So I just thought, hey, why don't you guys back test with me and go over this last setup that I took on EU on December 16th. So what we have here is Euro USD on the 15-minute chart. Of course, you guys know I look for my setup on the 15-minute. So when I came to the charts, when I came to my session, this is what I saw. This is what the price action looked like. And just real quick, we can go ahead and mark up our 15-minute zones that we see automatically, right? So right here, this last red candle, and then price breaks out of the box, and then the next candle doesn't even pull back. There's no wick, so it just kept going. And of course we know if the candle after the move, this candle being the move, the candle that breaks the box, if the candle after the move doesn't pull back to the candle before the move, which would be this last candle, this last red candle, the move that created your box, your key area. If it doesn't pull back, then that's the gap. So we see we have a gap here. So we would definitely mark up this demand right here. Gotta know it. And also, we have a supply right here. Last green candle, right? Big, red, aggressive candle breaking the box. And the candle after it, it pulls back, but only to right here. You have to know it. Look at the wick. It only pulls back right here. So it doesn't pull back all the way to our box or the candle before the move. The move being the candle that broke the box. So we know that this is a huge gap. This is a gap in the market right here. So we definitely have to mark up our 15-minute supply. And what I need you guys to see also, real quick, this price action right here, this 15-minute supply, price comes down. You know I love this setup because it broke structure. Just real quick, we're going to go over market structure later this week and get deeper into this. But you guys have to see this and you have to know this. So the market isn't always going to be perfect. So it's not going to be clear as day. So you have to be able to see the market structure. You have to be able to recognize what you're looking at. So we have 1 comes down, right? 2 goes up, breaks that high. 3 comes down, 4, and then 5. So let me make this really big for you guys and also change this color so you see this. Let's see. Boom. So really look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an uptrend, obviously, right? We have higher highs, higher lows, which creates your market structure. So that gold orange line is an uptrend. It's not going to be perfect and clear as day, but you have to realize that you're having higher highs and higher lows going to the upside. This is obviously an uptrend. And what do we see price do here? Price comes and breaks this last point, point number 4. It's price is down here. So it broke this point, right? This higher low. And we're going to get deeper into market structure again later this week. So we can get a clear understanding of market structure, because you got to know market structure because it will create your key areas. I mean, this is it's not that difficult. This isn't rocket science, but you just have to be able to see it. So price right here comes and breaks point 4, right? Breaks structure and leaves us a 15-minute supply. So you know I love that setup. You know I love this setup. And this is what I saw on Friday. So I knew I was going to get in. So at this point, we're marking up or leaving an alert right at our box, right? And also the demand as well, because it can come here first. We're not picking and choosing zones, right? We're not picking and choosing zones. We're marking all the zones up, and then we're letting price choose which one it wants to react off of. Even though we love the supply, it can go to the demand, fill that gap, and then go from the demand to the supply. So we have to be ready for all scenarios. You have to be flexible. Let's let price play out here. So price is moving. Boom. Just like that, it comes and fills our gap. It comes and fills our gap. So it's filling in the gap, right? It filled in the gap. So right now, we will be scrolling down to our 5-minute chart to get our sniper entry. So at this point, you know that if it does throw us in, we can go for liquidity sitting right here. This is liquidity sitting right here, right? Or we can go to the demand for another TP after our TP1. So that's just some pro tips right there for your TPs, get some higher RR. But anyway, we're waiting now on the actual candle to break the low of its previous candle for us to get our entry to get in for the sale. That's what we're waiting on. So after your price fills in that gap, we're waiting on the break to get in. That's another confirmation. We're not just getting into these trades as soon as it hits this box. That's getting in aggressive. We don't want to be We don't want to start that habit, not at all, because it can easily go and destroy this box, this supply, and keep going. If you've gotten in right here aggressive and you haven't gotten any confirmation, I mean, that's a big loss. You know what I mean? We don't want to be caught in that. That's rookie stuff. So we're waiting on the break. Let's see what price wants to do. Boom, right there, clear as day. It broke the low of its previous candle, right? So we have this rejection candle, almost an inverted hammer, right? And then the next candle breaks its low, so we will be getting in, and this is where I got in as well, right there. We'll be getting in right here, right at this gray line, as soon as it breaks its low. For us, the stop loss, we just went over stop loss placement, so you know to give your stop loss a little room. We're not doing anything like this. We're not doing the mandatory 10 pips or 50. It has to make sense. So more like that, just give it a little room to breathe. We don't want to be hugging it. And then of course we go and get our 1-to-1, right? Too easy 1-to-1. We knowing that's most likely about to get smacked. And again, this setup broke structure. So me knowing this setup, I definitely would have been holding for liquidity. And to be honest, most likely I would have held to our demand zone at the bottom, because the break of structure is actually letting us know that price wants to head to the downside. I mean, we've had 3 or 4 confluences at this point letting us know price wants to go to the downside. So a little small 1-to-1 like this, I mean, that's not really heading to the downside. You know what I mean? So of course it's going to throw more pips than that, but we want our 1-to-1. And after we get our 1-to-1, we move our stop loss to break even, and then we can be in a risk-free trade. But always go for 1-to-1 and then look for that bigger RR. So let's see what price does here. And there you go. Just real quick. Boom. No drawback. Zero drawback. Zero drawback. Zero. So as soon as we get in, we're just in profit. And TP1 gets destroyed. I told you guys we could have held for liquidity. So this is a 1-to-3. Let's see if price hits that. TP hit. And then I also said, me on a pro tip, I would have held to the zone because I know this setup. So there you go. I would have gotten out right there. 1-to-5 risk reward. Also no drawback. So this is just a lovely trade, textbook setup. You know, I also like to go to the 15-minute and let's see here, and I'll be doing this while the 5-minute is moving to 15-minute. Excuse me. So the 15-minute people got in on this setup right here. So their stop loss was about 20 pips. So their 1-to-1 would have been right here. And now what we can do is scroll down to the 5-minute. And of course you do this while the 5-minute is pushing the 15-minute. So you have to be quick with this. So we know the 15-minute people got in right here, which was a little over 1-to-1 it looks like. So we already won our trade when the 15-minute people got in. And we know when the 15-minute people get in, we should see a major push that way because they just got in, right? So we get that push. Sometimes we get it, sometimes it don't, sometimes it'll reject, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just something I like to see when the 15-minute people get in. I'm not saying if it doesn't have a major push, oh, get out, it's a loser. That's not what I'm saying. Because it can easily, they get in, it rejects some, and then it goes in our favor, right? Because the 15-minute people might be in some drawbacks. So I'm just saying once they get in, if we see a push like this, then that's just like I said, another confluence, another great sign. So the 15-minute people got in on this gold line. They right into some profit, right? Price goes and hits their TP1, which is already our 1-to-3.69, 1-to-4 risk reward is their 1-to-1. So again, you're seeing the power of a sniper entry rather than taking a 15-minute setup and a 15-minute entry. So their entry is 12 pips away from ours. I mean, 12 pips, that's huge. 12 pips with the right account size can definitely change your life. So that is huge for sniper entry. So that is why we scroll down to the 5-minute and get our sniper entry on the 15-minute setup. So the 15-minute people did win. We just won a lot more because of our sniper entry, and also had a tighter stop loss. So you can't beat that. Can't beat that. So this was December 16th. Beautiful trade, textbook trade, 0 drawdown. And that's it. That was all she wrote. Only took one setup. It was the last setup of the year, and it was a nice way to go out. So if you liked what I covered during this video, if you learned something, if you have any questions, definitely hit the comments and let me know. Like I said, we'll be going into market structure deeper this week as well, so you guys can have a better understanding about market structure, because that's key. That is key. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, share the channel. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it. You guys has really been showing me a lot of love. So more content like this will be coming. I'm Mr. Unorthodox. Keep thinking outside the box. Peace out.